Breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. Lil Durk got a new superseding indictment. They bringing all types of charges in. They're saying this one is telling, that one is telling, Uncle Ben's telling, Bobby Lou is telling, Susie, Coochie, Uli, Woody, what everybody's telling. But I'm going to tell you who's telling today. Just sit back and listen to this and don't miss it. Make sure you share this video. I'm going to let you know who the biggest rat on every single case is. All right? Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Make sure you share this video. All right, so that's what it is. I'm going to break down who the biggest rat of all time is of 2026, right? You know, I'm gonna get right into it, right? You know, let me show you a little bit. This is what we talking about. We talking about Lil Durk. Gotta, you know, give you a little bit of that.
Arrested in Miami last night, just 1 hour before the FBI learned he was going to board a private plane to Italy. It came the same day 5 of his hip-hop rap group members were arrested and indicted in Los Angeles for a murder-for-hire scheme. Devontae Dirk Banks, more commonly known as rapper Lil Durk of Chicago, was held this morning in a Broward County jail in Florida, charged with murder for hire. 5 members of his Chicago-based hip-hop group, Only the Family, or OTF members, are federally charged in Los Angeles in a murder-for-hire plot to kill rapper Quando Rondo. It's suspected that Rondo was involved in the 2020 slaying of rival rapper King Von, who is part of the OTF group with Banks. A now unsealed criminal complaint in California described the OTF group as a hybrid organization that blurred the lines between a music group and a gang, and alleges Banks ordered and paid for the murder of Rondo. According to the indictment, the hitman with OTF stalked Rondo and started shooting at him at an LA gas station. He survived, but his cousin died. The FBI officer's affidavit says law enforcement executed multiple search warrants at locations associated with OTF members around the Chicago area Thursday, and that's when the FBI learned Banks was booked on several international flights. One was a one-way from Miami to Dubai, the other from Fort Lauderdale to Switzerland. He didn't board either and was arrested an hour before getting on a private plane to Italy.
All right, so that's enough of that, right? So now we're going to get into this, right? You know, and you know what I feel like doing right now? Because I'm really feeling good right now. We're going to get a little music in here. We're going to get a little music in here. I'm going to break this down. And I'm going to tell you the #1 rat of all time in 2026, right? Lil Durk's case ain't just about who told. So don't get it confused thinking that you're going to worry about who told. Everybody's looking at Lil Durk's case, asking one question. Who's telling? Who's cooperating? Who sat down with the peoples? Who gave the government information? But I want to take you deeper than that, right? Because right now, everybody's worrying about who. Put in the comments. Everybody want to know who's telling, right? Put in the comments. Matter of fact, who do you think is telling? Because I'm going to break it down and I'm going to tell you who's telling right now, right? Because sometimes the loudest witness in the room ain't even a person. Y'all worrying about who's telling and who's the loudest, who's moving funny, who's talking in their jacket, you know what I mean, and who's taking pictures. That's what y'all worrying about, right? Sometimes it's the phone in your pocket. Remember that phone in your pocket. That phone don't get nervous. That phone don't need protection. That phone don't need a deal. That phone just keeps recording and recording and recording and storing and storing and storing. And when you get caught up, they just grab it, get the data. The jewel in that is the streets worry about snitches. The feds worry about timelines. And your phone can help them build both. The phone don't care about your street code. See, in the streets, people talk about loyalty. People talk about silence. People talk about standing tall. But the phone don't live by no street code. The phone don't care who you love. The phone don't care who you lost. The phone don't even care who's riding with you. It just stores the movement. It stores messages. You hear me? It stores pictures. It stores locations. And it also stores the mistakes that you make. The jewel in that is a man can keep his mouth closed, but a phone can still tell the whole damn story. The third indictment, right? Lil Durk just got a superseding indictment. The third indictment shows the case got bigger. Now, let's talk principle. When the feds come back with another superseding indictment, that means something. That means the case ain't shrinking. That means the story ain't getting lighter. That means they believe they found more ways to explain the same situation and tie a pretty little bow around it. First, they might say one thing, then they add another charge, then they add another theory, then they start tying people, places, dates, money, travel, and communication together through your phone. That's how a moment turns into a federal movie. The jewel in that is the streets thinking moments. Let's capture that moment. Take this picture, take this selfie. Let's capture the moment. The government thinks in patterns, and patterns get people life sentences. Every text can become a piece of the story. Every text you text whoever can become a piece of the story, and it can also pull the ones you love that didn't have anything to do with it into the story, because all they gotta do is say that the text you sent meant this. So if you said, don't forget to stop off and get me some Starbucks before you come and get 2 sugars with it, you talking about a key and 2 ounces of weed. Like, no, I just wanted some Starbucks. But the feds paint the picture once they get your phone, the records, now they get the who. Yo, we need you to say that when he made this text saying he was getting Starbucks and, 2 packs of sugar, that he really meant, a key and 2 ounces of weed to lay back and smoke. That's how simple it is. Every text can become a piece of the story, like I said. A lot of young brothers think a text is just a text. A DM is just a DM. A call is just a call. A location ping is nothing, right? That's how y'all think. A picture is nothing. A search is nothing. But in federal court, nothing is nothing. Everything can become something. One message can show intent. One can show contact. One location can show movement. One picture can show connection. One search can show state of mind. Y'all ready for this? You might delete it from the screen, but that don't mean it disappeared from the system. And that's why the first thing they want when they grab you is your co-defendant. We ain't talking about Bobby or Susie. We're talking about that iPhone, that Android, and whatever else that you putting your data into. The new snitch ain't always a person. Back in the day, you worried about the man next to you, the co-defendant, the driver, the shooter, the man who got scared and ran. Like, you remember, right? Let's ride. You remember in Set It Off Part 2 get ready to come up. Remember when TT went to the joint, she's supposed to go in the bank, and then all of a sudden she went out there, and then she got mad and took, got nervous and took the bus home, and then still wanted her cut because she got scared? They ain't worrying about that. They ain't worrying about her either. The man who got caught, the man who started thinking about his mother, his children, and the years he might be facing. And yes, that still happens. But today, the new snitch might be digital. The phone, the cloud, the camera, the license plate reader, the hotel record, the airline ticket, the credit card. the World Wide Web. The jewel in that is, the streets used to say, watch who you move with. Today I'm telling you, watch what you move with. You heard what I said? Watch what you move with. Because that phone, that phone is an electronic leash, right? I'm gonna show you that's an electronic leash, but we're gonna take a ride, right? Right, let's ride. Now, you got females that'll tell you, make sure you call me when you get there. But now they say, text me when you get there. Call me when you get there. Let's share your location. They want to have that leash around you because of their insecurity and want to know where you at all times. That's the electronic leash, how it works in a relationship. But when it comes to the feds, you're being tracked. Your every movement. Let me say this clear, right? The phone in your pocket can become an electronic leash. It tells where you've been. It tells who you call. It tells who called you. It tells what tower you touched. It tells what app you opened. It tells what picture you saved and what time you moved. It tells what time you stopped. And when the feds put that together, they don't need to guess. They built a map in your phone. The jewel to that is, a leash don't have to be around your neck. Sometimes it's in the palm of your hand. The internet, the World Wide Web, makes people too comfortable. You can sit in your living room and be all the way in West Pakistan somewhere. The internet got young brothers thinking everything is entertainment. Post the money, post your location, post the weapons, post the threats, post the crew, post the pain, post the revenge talk, post the funeral proceedings, post the disrespect. Then when the indictment comes, everybody's shocked. They start wondering who told. Who do you think told if you don't posted all that? But you've been documenting yourself for years. The jewel in that is, clout is expensive, and sometimes the bill comes in a federal court. Rat beef, right? Let's talk about rat beef. Rat beef can become federal language. On the internet, they call it rat beef. In the streets, they call it get back. In the comments, they call it standing on business. But in the federal court, they might call it conspiracy. They might call it stalking. They might call it murder for hire. They might call it racketeering. That's the part the youth don't understand. The same energy that gets you views online get translated in court charges. The jewel in that, right? The streets use slang, the feds use status, and statutes hit harder than captions. But you know what? You know what I feel like doing right now? I feel like doing my intro. All right? Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. We taking no hostages. No hostages, no hostages, no hostages. All right, let's get this cranking. I just wanted y'all to take a little break to get to see what's going on, right? Now, pain can make you move wrong. Pain can make you move wrong. Now I want to speak from a real place, right? We're gonna talk from a real place. Oh yeah, go Knicks. You know what it is, Knicks in 4. Put in the comments, Knicks in 4, put in the comments. Oh yeah, listen, I need y'all to like this video, give it the thumbs up and all that to get me back in the algorithm. I've been contacted, my content is too real. So they're not really pushing it, so y'all gotta push it by hitting the thumbs up. All right, let's keep it moving. And share the video, because this joint is fire. Because now you know who your real co-defendant is, who the biggest rat is. You just learned over Unique Mecca audio who's the biggest rat for 2026, right? But like I said, now I want to speak from a real place. Pain is real, loss is real, grief is real, loyalty is real. When somebody you love dies, your mind can go dark. I lost my brother and my mind went dark for a period. Thank God I found light now at the end of the tunnel, but it was dark. 26 years of dealing with this. So I'm speaking from experience, man. I'm just coming out here and I'm seeing what's going on. I bet you a lot of y'all knew it, you know, but didn't know it and not even paying attention to it because you're still doing it. And the proof is in the pudding. Because you're still texting things in your phones that can be used against you, whether it's in a court of law or in your relationship. When somebody you love die, right? We know your mind go dark. Your heart can get heavy. Your pride can get loud. But pain cannot be your leader. Revenge cannot be your counselor. Anger cannot be your lawyer. Because after the smoke clears, you still got to answer for what you did. And the jewel in that is, pain explains why you feel something, but pain don't excuse you from your consequences. The streets don't pay for your lawyer forever. When everything is moving fast, the streets cheer for you. Go Durkio, go Durkio. Y'all remember how he did all that, right? The comments, they cheer too. The fans cheer louder, the homies cheer the loudest. And you got a lot of snakes in those grass too, and those are the ones that we talking about who to watch. Everybody got something to say. But when the indictment lands, the crowd gets quiet and people put distance between themselves. When the bond gets denied, the crowd gets quiet. When the trial date comes, the crowd gets quiet. When your family's sitting in the courtroom, the crowd is even more quieter. When your mother's crying, the crowd gets quiet. When your children's growing up through visits and phone calls, the crowd gets quiet. The jewel in that. The streets will push you to the edge, but your family will do the sentence. Being a boss means knowing when to walk away. A real boss ain't just somebody with money. A real boss ain't just somebody with jewels. A real boss ain't just somebody with people around him. A real boss knows restraint. A real boss knows timing. A real boss knows when the emotion is too hot to make a decision. A real boss knows every move don't need no response. You know how much time I have to tell people, stop talking. Just stop talking. You don't even need to respond. Sometimes people just trying to vent. They're not asking you to try and create a solution. They're just talking because they want to get it off their chest, and if they get it off their chest, they can process it in their mind faster. So that don't mean after every syllable you have something to say. A real boss understands the silence can be tragedy. Walking away ain't weakness. Walking away can be wisdom. The jewel in that, right? A real boss, like I said, knows to walk away. See, I got to that, right? The jewel in this is the young mind thinks response is power. The grown mind knows restraint is power. The youth need to hear this clear. So y'all make sure y'all share this video. And hit the like button, because like I said, got to get in the algorithms. I need you to hit the like button, give me a couple of emojis, all that, that's it. You already know what we do. All right? Now, so we know the youth need to hear this clear. To the young brothers watching me, listen, and listen good. Stop letting the internet raise your temperature. Stop letting comments control your decision. Stop thinking every disrespect needs an action, because for every action, there's a reaction. Every reaction, there's a consequence. Stop carrying your whole life inside your phone and then said, who told on me? Stop recording your own downfall. Stop confusing attention with respect. Stop. Respect ain't views. Respect ain't fair. Respect ain't everybody saying you active. Real respect is staying free. Real respect is taking care of your family. Real respect is growing old. What could destroy you? The jewel in that rock. The streets are real, but prison is realer. And it's not worth it. What Lil Durk's case should teach us, right? This ain't about celebrating another black man in trouble. This ain't about laughing at nobody's pain. This ain't about picking sides. This ain't about, this is just about learning. Because every case got a lesson. Every indictment got a warning. Every courtroom got a message. And the message here in this video is simple. Your circle matters. Your emotions matter. Your phone matters. Your choices matter. And once the government starts building, they don't need your permission to tell the story that you've introduced into your phone. The jewel in that is, the celebrity is not the real story. The lesson is the story. Now, let me close out. I've been on here long enough. No, y'all like, man, shut up already. Get your old ass off the screen, right? I know we got a few of these rat bastards and flip-flop wearing in public trolls that don't want the real message to get out. They just want to know about who's shooting who and the names of who's telling when, if they don't understand what I'm saying, that your biggest rat is in your pocket or the palm of your hand. And you spend more time caressing it. You caress the very thing that's gonna get you life in jail. Let me give you the closing. So when people ask who told, I want you to ask a deeper question. What did the phone tell? What did the timeline show? What did the records prove? What did the movements and the locations recall? Because sometimes the person everybody's blaming ain't even the loudest witness. Sometimes the loudest witness, like I said, was sitting in your pocket the whole time. The loudest witness was in that hotel room, in your bedroom while you made love. It may have got that too, and you just don't know. All right? Sometimes, like I said, the loudest witness is sitting in your back pocket the whole time, right? And that's why I tell the youth, don't just watch your enemies. Don't just watch your friends. Watch your habits. Watch your emotions. Watch your phone. Because one bad decision can turn your life into government paperwork. And remember, even if you have your location off, the government can still track you. Remember that. She might not be able to track you, but the government can still track you. The jewel in that is, you can be silent, your crew can be silent, but if your actions left a trail, that trail can testify. That phone can testify. Let me ask you a 10 viral questions just to ride out, make this a little longer, give you all something to think about, Ron. And give me an emoji, man. Remember to give me a like emoji, keep this moving in the circle so, we could do this, I'm not trying to get up here, like I said, telling about who ought who and who did. I don't get in there. I just want to give the lessons that we need to elevate. Can your phone become a better witness than your co-defendant? Put that in the comments. Do you believe your phone could become a better witness than your co-defendant? Yes. Because a co-defendant can lie, forget, or change the story. But a digital record can show time, movement, contact, and patterns. My second question to you, Ryan. See, we in class. I'm like the YouTube professor for the street code right now, right? Are people more scared of snitches than evidence? Do you think people are more scared of snitches than evidence? And which one do you think they should be scared of? Put it in the comments. Honestly, let me hear what you have to say. Don't forget the like button and hit the emoji and all to keep this thing moving, right? And the number on the screen work, I do answer the phone, but know that, the game's to be sold and not told, so don't call me trying to jaw jack and don't want to even put $1 in the cash app because we don't have time for the bull crap. But now, are people more scared of snitches than evidence? Yes, and that's the mistake. A person telling is dangerous, but evidence can talk without emotion. Remember that. The third question, did the streets underestimate technology? Do you believe the streets underestimated technology now that it's in there? Oh yeah, right. And make sure you cop my book of Raw in Harlem at rawinharlem.com. Cop the book of Raw in Harlem. Fire, fire, fire. You're gonna love it. Now, let me get back to where I was at, Ron. Did the streets underestimate technology? Absolutely. A lot of street rules were built before smartphones, cameras, GPS, and cloud storage. Is deleting messages enough to protect you? Put that in the comments. Do you feel that if you deleted a message, it'll protect you and they can't use it or find it to get you in the court of law? Right? So is deleted messages enough to protect you? No. Deleting something from your screen does not mean it disappeared from every server, device, backup, or record. Remember that. Can rap beef turn into federal evidence? Put it in the comments. Do you believe that rap beef can turn into federal evidence? Well, it sure can. Lyrics, videos, captions, DMs, calls, and movement can all become part of the government's theory. Why? Oh man, it wasn't no why. Put it in the comments why, right? Here goes another crazy why. Why do superseding indictments matter? Why do superseding indictments matter? Because they show the government is still building. They may be adding charges, facts, defendants on a broader theory, and even digging deeper into your phone. What's more dangerous, loyalty or emotion? That's a good one. Put it in the comment. What's more dangerous, loyalty or emotion? Emotion all day, because loyalty with no discipline can turn into a decision you regret forever. Loyalty with no discipline can turn into a decision you regret forever. Prime example, what Big 30 going through. So loyal to Pooh Shiesty, And here it is, from no discipline upon that loyalty, he ran up in a decision that he'll never forget. And now he got to deal with these charges. Is walking away weakness? Put that in the comments. Do you feel walking away is weakness? No. Walking away can be wisdom. A free man can rebuild. A locked up man can only remember. 26 years, all I remember is the great, wonderful street things I did. That's why you ask me now, 35 years later, was it worth it? Hell no, I was doing that before y'all was even born. I got locked up when they put the cuffs on me, and when I was even hustling on the street, 95% of y'all watching wasn't even born yet. You know? Now, walking away is not weakness. Walking away can be wisdom. A free man, like I said, can rebuild, and a locked up man can only remember. But I'm glad I'm here to make new memories. Now, next question, why do young artists keep getting caught in federal cases? Why do you think a lot of these young artists keep getting caught in federal cases? Because image, entourage, street ties, social media, and real life conflict can become one dangerous mix. What's the real lesson in Lil Durk's case? Y'all put in a comment, what do you think the real lesson in Lil Durk's case is? The lesson is not gossip. The lesson is accountability. The lesson may clap for revenge, right? The streets may clap for revenge, right? The street may applaud you. They sure applaud me when I was driving down the street, those fancy foreign cars. They applaud me when I was driving down the street in $100,000 cars, getting all the money up and down the place. But they was real quiet while I did that 26 years in the feds. The real lesson in Lil Durk's case is, like I said, it's not gossip. The lesson is accountability. The streets may clap for revenge, but the prison makes you pay for it alone, by yourself. You see how we just broke that down? Yo, remember again, cop the book of Raw in Harlem at rawinharlem.com, and make sure you hit the like button, give me a little emoji or something to get this thing back in the algorithm to show them what time it is. They ain't gonna stop no real gangsters. All right?
Cheers.
Hey, what's going on, man? Murder Move, Harlem, you know what it is, man. I just want to express how much gratitude I got for Unique, you know what I mean? I was telling him a story, telling him how I felt about, if anything was to go wrong with my career, rap-wise, if, should be slow, and I got so many opportunities to be able to do the wrong shit. When I watch Unique Mecca audio, I feel it, and to my soul, and that's keeping me farthest away from doing anything criminal. Anything criminal. He made me think straight, honestly. Made me think straight, because I've been watching him for about a year now, maybe, and it just took my mind way off of that. From a year ago, it got rough. For a year ago, and from watching this man, I just felt like, you saved me. You saved me. And I just want to show my gratitude, and I want to say thank you, man. Unique Mecca audio, anything you need, brother, from me.
All right.
Anything you need, man.
All right.
Look.
Cheers. Toast the crime.
Fresh out the can of 26, Heat back on the strip, getting back in the mix. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Real. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. The Instagram page and the YouTube, you could go and visit. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about the man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops, Mecca audio. Get it live like 2 G's in the 90s. Drop top beamer so shiny. I let shorty go, she was whining. Treat her like my past, she behind me. Spin a couple bands on the Dapper Dan. You be back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a raw in Uptown. Baby horn Uptown, Dominican bust downs. Now we on the positive, we got a lot to give. Now he trying to stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend an ear. He started in Uptown, he gon' finish dead. But now it ain't about selling drugs, buying cars. It's about buying property to make the community ours, so we can give back to the